Hey, Gen X and Millennials, I want to talk to you if you've got aging parents. I want to talk to you about the benefit of hospice. I used to be an executive director of a hospice, and I saw so many families that there was no plan because we don't talk about death in this country. And doctors are loath to tell anybody that they're terminal. They'll say, we could try one more round of, or we could do one more thing, instead of saying, you know what, this is the end of life for you. You need to go home, spend time with your family, go on hospice, and that is the end of life. We don't talk about that. And the problem with that is that it can be very expensive. If your elder parent has to go into a nursing home, if they don't have long-term care insurance, or you're not rich enough to pay $5,000 or $6,000 a month out of pocket, you have to exhaust all of their assets before Medicaid will take over in most states. And if you don't, then you sign over all of their assets. And if you think, oh, mom, put the house in my name, that way they won't take it, they'll go back 5 to 7 years and see that you tried to do that, and they'll take it. And so from the financial side of it, if you do not want to die penniless so your children inherit nothing, or they don't get to live in the family house they've lived in for generations, make a plan while you are healthy. Speak to an attorney, an estate planner, get long-term care insurance if you can. Divest of investments and holdings so that your adult children are not having to become full-time caregivers and they cannot even leave the house for 5 minutes at the end of life of someone they're caring for. And they suffer alongside. I'm going to tag Hospice Nurse Penny and Hospice Nurse Julie because they talk a lot about the clinical side of it, but I want to talk about from the family side of it. As a child of an adult parent like this, you need to have these conversations. I tried working in hospice, tried to have those conversations, and my mother and her husband would not listen to me. My father did. When my father was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer and they told him this is pretty much it, he called me up and he said, I think it'll be time for me to go on hospice. I'd like to do just one round of chemo to see if it'll get me a little extra time so I can put the rest of my affairs in order. But after that, I'll be ready to go on hospice. And my dad was on hospice for 16 months before he passed away. And they took care of him. And he had made a plan because he listened to me. These are hard conversations, but if you're not having them, or if you're saying, let's talk about that, if people are saying to you, your parents are saying, we've got it figured out, we've got a plan, we don't want to talk about that, you're going to have to sit down at the dinner table with an uncomfortable conversation and say, I need to know the plan. And it needs to be clear. And we need to know what your wishes are, and we need to know where everything is, and we need to know that if you get a terminal diagnosis and you have to go into a nursing home, how's it going to be paid for? Is it going to be paid for by clearing out your 401k and your pension funds and selling the family home and cars and every furniture and everything in it to pay for it? Is it going to be signing over all those assets to a nursing home? Or have you already put everything in a trust years ago? Have you already divested all of that? Have you got long-term care insurance that will cover it? Or do you have so much secret money we didn't know about it that you can afford to spend $5,000 to $6,000 a month out of pocket for a decade? If you don't know the answers to all those questions and you are 40 years old or so and you've got parents, it's getting too late to have those conversations. I'm telling you, every family I ever talked to, their eyes got this big when we would explain to them why you can't just put mom in a nursing home right now. She doesn't have long-term care insurance and you can't afford to pay out of pocket. And Medicaid is the only thing that covers that. But to qualify for Medicaid, you have to be broke. So this house y'all got to either sell it and pay for it, or you just sign it over to the facility. And if you tried to do it a couple of years ago, they're going to come back, they're going to get it. They'll go back and they'll get it. We got to stop being afraid of death. Beginning and the end is inevitable. And you're not talking about the end. If you're a parent, you are screwing over your children one last time. And maybe that's what you wanted to do in the first place, but I know it's not. So have the hard conversation, emotional conversation, and figure it out. Leave your children with the peace of mind that you have taken care of it. And maybe you will win the lottery and walk across the living room floor and drop dead before you hit the ground. But maybe not. That's just what I'm thinking about today, y'all.